Kelly. My name is Miss Kengle. I am a school psychology practicum student. I work with Miss Whitney. Um, so, our role as a school psychologist is to help students perform academically at their best, help them through tough situations, and just get them to where they want to be in life. Before we get started, I just want to go over with you something important to us called confidentiality. So whatever you tell to me here, I'm going to keep to myself. Um, I do work as a practicum student, so sometimes the best way for me to help you would be to ask my supervisor for how advice. And if that ever arises, then we'll work together on how to share the information and what you feel most comfortable with. How does that sound?
Good.
So there's two major components that we're going to look at for confidentiality to keep in mind. So if you tell me that you feel like hurting yourself or hurting another individual, I'm going to have to report that. And then also if you report that someone is hurting you, I'm going to have to tell someone about that. So I know that's a lot of information and it's really serious information. So just to make sure you have a good understanding, I was wondering if you could summarize what you think confidentiality means.
Okay. So basically, if I'm going to hurt myself or I want to hurt somebody else or if someone is hurting me for some reason, then you would have to tell someone.
Perfect. You got it right. So if there's any questions that you have in further sessions about confidentiality, I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. But for right now, so we're going to do some counseling sessions. So we're going to spend some time each week talking about what's going on in your life. It's your time to explore some of the good things and we can celebrate that together. And then also problem solve some of the troubles that you're having so that we can work together and really work together as a team so that you are prepared for school and things outside of school in the best way possible. Is there any questions about that?
Don't think so.
Perfect. So I'm really happy that you came in today, and I'm really glad to meet you. And I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I play basketball. I'm on the school team, and I really like that. I also work at an ice cream parlor during the summer, and I'm really good. I typically do pretty well in school. I like school. I like to get good grades, and I try really hard, and I do all my homework and stuff. So school is really important to me.
That's fantastic. What about school do you like?
Partially, I just like that I'm good at it, and so I like doing well, and I like succeeding, and that happens in school. I also really like to read, so English is fun for me because they give us all these books that I might not have known about otherwise, and so I like that. And then I also like math. I just mostly because I'm good at it. It makes sense, and yeah.
Right, so it sounds like you have some areas in school that you have really strong skills in, which is really nice to hear. Tell me a little bit more about your job at the ice cream parlor.
Just a normal like working at the register, but I like doing it because first of all I get to do some math because I have one of those like really old school registers that you have to do all the calculations yourself, so I like that. I also just like that it gives me some independence. I have some money for myself and I get to get out of the house and be on my own a little bit, so I like that part of it too.
Great. So it sounds like you can apply the things that you're learning in school, like math, to your job, and then you're becoming a young adult, so you get to experience that as well. So I know that you decided to come to counseling, and I was wondering if you were willing to share what's going on that brought you in here today.
Well, a lot of it is that my parents got divorced and now they're living separately, and I go back and forth between the two houses, and so it's been a really big change and it's been kind of hard for me.
Yeah, that does sound like it would be hard. How are you feeling throughout the whole change process?
Sometimes I'm really sad, so I try to like distract myself from that. Mostly sad, I think, is how I feel.
I think it's understandable to be sad going through a change like that. And you said that you felt the need to distract yourself from kind of these sad things. In what ways do you do that?
Well, I do that with work, just like getting away is nice sometimes and, occupying my mind with something other than the divorce. And I also like when I play basketball, that distracts me from everything and, all the like practice and working out and all of that kind of keeps my mind off of it. And the same with school. I just spend more time working on school stuff just so I don't have to like think about them and what's going on at home.
Right. So it sounds like this big change in your family life has made you seek out other areas where you feel a little bit safer, a little bit more comfortable. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so. And, like places that I already liked before, I'm just doing it more, I would say.
Okay. Um, and do you see maybe with the change in your family, has there felt any like consequences in either school or your work life or your personal life that has changed compared to before the divorce?
I spend less time with my friends, like outside of basketball. I don't really spend that much time with them. I used to hang out with them a lot, and now I just tend to like do schoolwork and go to work when I'm not at basketball practice or like doing basketball related things. I also just don't spend as much time with my family. We used to be much closer and we would do a lot together, and now that they don't really interact as much and we don't live all together, I just don't really want to like spend as much time with them as I used to.
So it sounds like you are pulling away from your friends and then pulling away from your family as well. And when you are alone, what kinds of things do you like to do?
I like to exercise and work out even outside of basketball practice. I'll sometimes like work out just to occupy myself and also to like make sure that I'm staying in shape and that I'll be like a really good basketball player. Because I feel like you need to be really in shape to be really good at it, and I just want to be the best that I can. And I also do a lot of schoolwork, so.
Okay, so when you're by yourself, you find yourself either exercising or working schoolwork. Talk to me a little bit about your exercising and your basketball. What kinds of goals do you have for that?
Um, well, I want to be a better basketball player, but I also just want to be like in better shape. I feel like I'm just never in as good a shape as I want to be, and I see all my friends and stuff, and they're all in really good shape, and they're all really skinny, and like I just don't feel like I look that way, or I am like in that good of shape, and I'm just not really as happy with that as I think I could be, and I think that that might impact how good I am at basketball. Like the best people on the team are obviously the ones that are in the best shape. So I think that, yeah.
So that must be a little bit hard with seeing everyone on the team and how they look like, and then wanting to be a good player. Um, I can see how that could be troubling, coming from another person. I was an athlete as well, so I definitely see that that could be a difficult thing that you're going through. Um, Now that we are about to wrap up our session, I just want to give you a chunk of what I have gotten from you and let me know if I have this correct or not. Um, so you came in today to talk about your family and that you've gone through a divorce and that's changed your family dynamic, that you're feeling a little bit more socially isolated from your friends, and you're not really interacting with your family as well. It sounds like you're doing very well academically and that you enjoy things like playing basketball and working at your ice cream parlor. And then also you've just been developing a little bit of maybe some body image issues and how that relates to being the best athlete that you can be. Does that sound like I got everything correct there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I also want to just take the time to thank you for coming in. I know it takes a lot of strength and courage to seek out counseling and help, so I just want to honor that and say thank you for taking that step